Hi, I'm AJ O'Neill, your friendly neighborhood author and primary maintainer of Greenlock. The reason that I created Greenlock, which is a tool that when you see the secure lockup in your browser bar, Greenlock is a tool for developers, people that do website hosting, etc., to be able to get that free of charge. So supports entrepreneurship, gig economy, stuff like that. But more importantly to me, I envision a day when every person on the planet will have their own domain that functions as a digital identity that is secure and enables them to connect and share both between devices that they have on their person and in their house, as well as with people that they trust and care about. And so it's a small step in that direction, but it's a step in that direction, and that's why it's important to me. This campaign is primarily geared towards people that are already using and rely on Greenlock. On November 1st, Greenlock version 2 is going to stop working. If I was just going off of my own when the muse strikes and the opportunities there, I probably wouldn't be deploying the next version until about 72 hours before, just because of other projects that I'm working on. What I'm asking for is, if you use and rely on Greenlock, a $100 pledge so that I can dedicate the time, prioritize it, and to be able to publish the next version by September 24th. The reason that it's going to break is that it relies on the Acme protocol, which is a joint venture between Mozilla and the Electronic Frontier Foundation. They have this project that's called Let's Encrypt, and the protocol is called Acme, and they made a breaking change to the protocol last year, actually, I think is when they announced it, and it goes into effect on November 1st, hard cutoff date. So you also may not know there are two versions of Greenlock, well, depending on how you count. I mean, obviously there's version 1 and version 2, but there's a browser version of Greenlock, as well as the Node version of Greenlock. And so through the years, they've kind of leapfrogged one another, where one's a little bit further ahead, the Node version first, of course, the other gets a little bit further ahead. In this case, it's the browser version. So the browser version has the necessary changes and almost all of the bug fixes and other benefits that I want to bring to the Node version. But the first 90% of the work is done, but there's still the other 90% of the work, that tedious labor and toil of backporting things and testing and make sure that they all fit together and whatnot. However, I believe this is totally worth it in comparison to just trying to shoehorn in a couple of changes. And the changes need to happen. The biggest problem with the legacy code is that it confuses people that want to contribute to the project. So when people say, how can I contribute? Well, there's plugins that people have contributed to, which is just amazing. There's documentation, there's just pointing out problems with the project, all of which I'm grateful for. But having actually, someone work in the core code base, not easy. And so the V3 is going to make it easier for contributors to get involved. Part of that is making it more testable. And just overall, it's going to be more maintainable. We're going to drop legacy code. We're going to take the benefits of the past couple of years of learning and smush it all together into a nice, neat little package with a bow. A couple of common complaints that are going to be addressed are issues with logging and error handling. I want to take the time to revamp the documentation, go through all the examples, make sure that there's not anything that's misleading or confusing. Just be able to, sit down and dedicate that time. The purpose of the pledge is twofold. I set the $5,000 minimum and the $10,000 actual goal with the stretch goals based on what I realistically believe is the amount of effort and time value exchange that I need in order to do this work. If all I had was just the money, that is motivation and time buy enough for me to be able to get this done. But part two, which is more important, is the feel goods, the motivation. When you make that pledge, it's not just like buying software for $100. It's making me feel good. It's letting me know that I've done something for you that contributes so much value to your life and your business, the things that you're taking on, that you're readily willing to give something back to me to help me in my life and my vision. And that is really awesome. So when you contribute to the project, it says to me that you care about me as a person, you care about the future and potential of Greenlock, and that you have some sort of buy-in to part of my vision for the things that I'm trying to create and do. It just communicates more effectively to me that I'm hitting the right mark with the right people, that I'm creating something that is not of just, passing value, but something that's of real and important value to others. And make no mistake, the dollar value is important and it's not arbitrary. But the impact of the gratitude and appreciation and value that a $100 pledge shows is equally as important. So with that, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you'll contribute to the campaign, and I will have a second video right here to explain the other price tiers for those of you that are interested in those.